Hello everyone, I'm going to be giving a summary of the notes that I took during an AAC training. So first, some of the general guidelines. Refer to the AAC as the student's talker. Since some of the devices are different, we don't want to call them your PEX board or your iPad, we just want to refer to them across the board as the student's talker. One person should be the consistent programmer, and you should encourage parents and teachers to provide vocab wish lists to that programmer. This helps with the consistency of words being organized in similar categories, the way that one person would organize them. The talker is only used for communication and never games, and this is specifically if it's an iPad or something that they are able to access games on. The talker is a backup to other more effective forms of communication, and the talker is meant to increase independence. Teaching how to use an AAC. Modeling is the best method of teaching, and I'll get a little more into modeling later in this presentation. Regular and reliable use, being able to speak it to teach it, and as the teacher feeling comfortable with using it, and this just means to be familiar yourself with the device so that when you're teaching it to the student, you have a good idea of the best way to teach them. Incidental teaching moments promote generalization, and programmed and structured activities for teaching the AAC are a big help in the classroom, but we don't want to create activities specifically for the AAC, but more like to have a general activity that the entire classroom is working on that is something that the student can use their AAC for. Honor requests if they are understood, and then push the button. Don't force students to use the talker if they are able to communicate their want or need. And by this I just mean if the student makes a request in a way that you've been able to understand them in the past, honor that request first, and then show them that they can also use the talker to make those requests. Don't talk about the talker, like narrating while trying to find a word. And by this I mean just don't be looking for the word and being like, oh, where's that word? I think it's in this folder. Just repeat the question or sentence if you need to buy time while looking for a word. So modeling versus prompting. Prompting is to be used when you're not a part of the conversation, and modeling is to be used when you are physically teaching the student how to use the talker, or if the student is becoming frustrated while trying to have a conversation with other people. So modeling. Always model what the student tries to say and highlight keywords like I want or crayons. Fill in the blank or push the button as you say the word. Repetition is always good, and model one step above the learner's level. So if it seems like they've got those sight words down, those base words, try and go a little more difficult. Model all types of communication, not just requests, and then there's peer modeling. Here are the 6 levels of prompting. So the first level is to wait and expect communication. The second level is to use a gestural cue, like a general gesture to the device. The third level is to use more specific gestural cues, such as pointing to the button. The fourth level is a partial physical prompt, like move their arm towards the device. The fifth level is if they hover over the button, tap the back of their hand. And the sixth level is full hand-over-hand physical prompt. Prompting is always silent, and you want to gradually fade prompting as the learner makes progress. High-level prompting calls for more opportunities for modeling. So with this, you want to start at level 1 and only move up a level if the learner needs that help. Third-party prompting. Use this when the communication partner is not the teacher, or when the communication partner is with the student, the prompter is silent and follows the level of prompting. The do's and don'ts. Do take opportunities to model, treat accidental hits as communication, encourage peers to take a turn with the talker for peer modeling, set ground rules, such as the talker is not a toy, and expect students to use the talker less than the teacher initially. Don't use the talker as academic material. Don't say, tell me on your talker. Don't create new activities specifically for the talker. And don't take the device away from the student ever. This is their form of communication.